It begins with a quiet step into the unknown, the world bright and buzzing around you, fields stretched out like dreams waiting to be planted, and yet in your hand there is nothing, no power, no rhythm at all, just the weight of beginning. And the sight of tools lined up in shops and menus, each one waiting not just to be used, but to become part of your hands, part of your journey. You do not start with mastery, you start with curiosity, and that is where everything changes. The first tool is always the simplest. It might not shine, and it might not move fast or leave a trail of sparks behind it, but none of that matters because what it offers is far more powerful than appearance. It offers beginning, it offers rhythm, it offers the first beat of your farming life, the very first heartbeat of the garden you are about to build and nurture. You hold it in your hand, not quite sure if it is enough, and yet somehow, as you step toward the edge of your plot and press it into the soil, something clicks inside you, not just in the game, but in your mind, because the ground shifts beneath your command, the dirt responds to you. And for the first time, you realize that your actions shape this world. Each click is small but meaningful. Each press of the tool brings transformation. What was untouched before now shows the mark of your intention. And even though your tool is basic, its purpose is grand. It teaches you that nothing grows without effort and nothing begins without a single motion. You start to understand that tools in this world are not just equipment. They are extensions of who you are, of what you want to create, of the way you want your story to unfold. They are not passive items. They are companions. They do not lead you, but they walk beside you and amplify your choices. You learn to respect the humble shovel or whatever your first tool, maybe not because it is powerful on its own, but because it is the first thing to listen to you. It obeys when nothing else does. It is the proof that you have control over something in this vast and beautiful land. And as you plant your first seeds using that basic tool, your movements slow and unsure, you begin to feel something deeper. You begin to form a bond between your hands and the land, between the action and the result, between your rhythm and the rhythm of the game. The game does not rush you, it does not mock you, it waits patiently as you stumble and figure out the motion of planting, of watering, of harvesting. It lets you grow just as your crops will, and your tool stays with you through each of those steps. There is something almost magical about that first planting, the moment when your seed settles into the soil and you look at it and wonder if it will grow, if it will reward your effort. And your tool is the silent witness to that wonder. It is the bridge between the invisible dream and the visible result. And it is in those early, quiet moments that the true nature of your tools reveals itself. They are not meant to overpower, they are meant to teach. They are not about speed or flash. They are about connection. They are about forming a rhythm that becomes yours, and yours alone. Later, you will unlock tools that sparkle and fly and automate and dazzle, but you will always remember that first tool, that slow, deliberate movement, that first tilled patch of soil where nothing existed before and now something does, and you made it. So you will remember how you crouched down over your crops to water them gently, not yet rushing, not yet optimizing, simply caring for them because you wanted them to grow. And your watering tool will teach you that not all growth can be forced, some must be nurtured. You will remember how your harvest tool first felt strange in your hand as you approached your plants, unsure of how much they would give, and how it surprised you by giving not just fruit, but joy, not just coins, but momentum. Each tool you use becomes a part of you, and each upgrade you unlock becomes a reflection of who you are becoming in the world of Grow a Garden. The tools are not there to make things easy, they are there to make things possible. They are the doorway through which effort turns into result, and even as you gain more tools, faster ones, more specialized ones, you will find yourself thinking about that first tool, the one that taught you to care, to observe, to act with patience and purpose, because in that simplicity, there was a lesson that no upgrade can replace. The tools in this game are not about power, they are about harmony. They are about tuning yourself to the cycle of the land and matching your steps to the rhythm of growth. When you learn which tool to use, and when you understand what the land needs and how each tool responds to that need, you no longer feel like a player, you feel like a gardener, like a builder, like someone who understands the soil and listens to what it says. So never underestimate the first tool, never look down on the basics. Never rush past them, because they are where everything begins and everything returns. When you lose your rhythm, you pick up the first tool again and find it. When you feel overwhelmed, you go back to the basics and remember how it felt to start. And in doing so, you ground yourself again. You notice others moving faster, their tools humming, their gardens growing, their plots overflowing with color, and you wonder what makes the difference. But it is not speed alone that separates a beginner From a pro, it is understanding, it is knowing which tool to use when and why, it is knowing the ground and what it needs and knowing your rhythm and how to build it over time. You find the watering tool, the one that brings life where there is only dust, and dry. It teaches you patience because nothing grows without care. You move from patch to patch, soaking the roots, feeding the unseen systems of your garden, and learning that timing matters. If you water too little, things wait. If you water too late, they slow. If you water just right, the land answers with growth and movement and possibility. Then there is the harvesting tool. It does not just gather, it rewards, it reflects everything you have done up to that point and asks if you are ready for more. It feels like sweeping your hand through tall grass, only now the grass gives back. It gives fruit, it gives color, it gives coins. But more than anything, it gives confirmation that your work has begun to matter, and still you move forward and meet the planting tool again and again until it becomes second nature. Your seeds begin to feel like stories you are planting, like promises you are making to your future self. One day, you will look back and smile at the way you used to fumble, at the way you used to think planting was just dropping seeds, when in truth planting is vision, planting is intention, planting is growth in slow motion. As your farm expands, the tools begin to change. They become faster, sharper, more efficient. They begin to hum with the energy of progress, and you find yourself dancing across your land. Instead of walking, your routine becomes a rhythm. Your rhythm becomes a habit. Your habit becomes success. But here is the secret: the real shift is not in the tools, it is in you. You change while your tools evolve. You stop seeing them as equipment and begin seeing them as language. You use them to speak to the soil, to tell the ground what you want, and the game begins to listen and respond. You notice tools that automate, that speed things up, that stretch your energy further than you thought possible. But none of those tools matter if you do not know why you are using them. So you learn to experiment, you test, you fail, you test again, you walk the edge between chaos and control until you know not just what each tool does, but how it makes your world grow. The upgrade paths tempt you every day. You see names and icons promising ease and efficiency, and you must choose. You must ask yourself what kind of farmer you want to be: the one who focuses on harvesting fast, or planting wide, or watering long range, or automating piece by piece. Every path has strength, every path has weakness, every tool has a place in the story you are writing. You begin to feel a kind of connection, a kind of rhythm when you switch between your tools. One hand plants, the other waters. One hand harvests, the other prepares. It is not just gameplay anymore, it is music, and you are the one composing it with clicks and swipes and movement. You start walking past new players, and they watch you with the same curiosity you once felt. You notice their hesitation, their questions, and you want to tell them something simple, something powerful: master your tools, because your tools will teach you how to master the game, not by rushing, not by copying, but by learning their pace, learning their rhythm, and trusting your own. Some tools are flashy, some are simple, but the true strength of a tool is not what it looks like. It is how it fits into your flow. If it matches your method, it becomes powerful. If it clashes with your rhythm, it slows you down. Even if it is the most advanced piece of gear, eventually, you reach a point where you are not thinking about tools at all. You are just flowing. Plant, water, harvest, sell, upgrade, repeat. But if you pause, if you step back, if you look again, you will see how each step was carried by a tool and how each tool was powered by your own growth. The shovel you once struggled with, the watering can that felt too slow, the harvester that missed crops, the tools never changed, you did. And that is where the magic is. That is where the journey lives, in the space between you and the world and the tools that brought the two together. So to every beginner, I say this: pick up that first tool and do not let go, not because it is strong, not because it is fast, but because it is the first note in a song that only you can finish. And when your garden begins to sing, when your coins begin to grow, when your land begins to bloom, you will know that the tools did not build your farm.